Your real estate agent has very wisely suggested to you that you have a home inspection at the time your home goes on the market, a pre-listing inspection. You would ask the question, why? What is the compelling case for the listing inspection? Let us share that together. According to Zillow, which is the largest collection of consumer data as it relates to houses, when you have an inspection at the time your home goes on the market, you make your listing stand out. How do we know that? Because Zillow makes it stand out. Homes with a pre-listing inspection are marked as pre-listed right there on Zillow. The data at Zillow also substantiates that you get more offers on that home to maximize your profit. Homes with a pre-listing inspection get more offers and closer to the asking and higher final price. And that is what you want, isn't it? You want to sell your home in less time and net more money. The question becomes, why? Why do they sell faster? They sell faster because your agent will have more confidence that they know precisely what they're selling, that they can get their job done faster and better because they've got all the information that they need. So they'll be more aggressive in the marketing. They'll be more likely, more willing to spend their own money to get your home sold. The selling agent, that is the person who brings the buyer, perceives fewer problems. When they perceive fewer problems, they are in fact more likely to show your home, more likely to encourage an offer. The buyer has reduced fear. People fear the unknown. And because your seller's disclosure now will include a professional objective home inspection, that buyer is far more likely to make an offer and far more likely to make that offer closer and closer to your asking price. The next question, why are they closer to the asking price? Very truthfully, it makes it more likely that your home will be correctly priced. There's a natural desire, we all have it, to ask for the moon. Well, the truth of it is the market sets the price of the home, and your real estate agent knows the market. They'll look at comparable sales, and then armed with the pre-listing inspection, they'll be able to properly position your home within that market price structure so that you will get offers faster, more of those offers, and ultimately net a higher sales price. So really there's less risk to them. It's bad for an agent to overprice a house. It's bad for the seller. It's bad for the agent. Why? Because when things sit on the market too long, other agents and other buyers perceive there's something wrong with the home or it's dramatically overpriced. You could make the argument that every day it sits on the market, it's worth less than the day before. The inspector will be delivering the message. You won't be burdened with worrying, did I accurately describe my home in the seller disclosure? All of that responsibility will rest with the home inspector to fairly and objectively speak for the house and make sure that it's properly and accurately described so that that first offer you get is closer to your asking price. Quite frankly, if it's priced correctly the first time, armed with the listing inspection, you can very often set up a bidding war so that your price is specifically set to encourage a multiple offer situation. Fewer contingencies. It's everyone's dream to have an as-is sale. And by disclosing objectively with the pre-listing inspection the condition of the home, you're far less likely to have future contingencies or repair requests. Fewer surprises after the contract. It's not a good thing that you negotiate back and forth, you agree on a price, and then the buyer brings in their inspector. Once that occurs, they'll be looking for price reductions, repairs, or replacements of components. We can minimize those requests by minimizing the surprises that comes from the inspection. It's not a surprise when you disclose it. And know this, in any negotiation, the person who brings the information to the negotiating table is the person in charge or in control, even if the information is negative. Fewer points of negotiation. We don't want to give the buyer points to negotiate. We want to put those points on the table so that you and your agent are in control. Benefits to you as the seller. Better price positioning. Price, price, price. They say in real estate, location, location, location. Point of fact, it's price. Every single home in America has a price at which it will sell rapidly. The Goal is to know that price as soon as possible. Reduced liability via objective disclosure. The seller disclosure puts you, frankly, in a libelous position. You are accountable for what you document. By taking what you do know, sharing that with a home inspector, let the home inspector be the person who's really doing that disclosure. That liability shifts to the home inspector. The only thing we can't protect you from is fraud. If you commit fraud, you're on your own. Increased likelihood of an as-is sale. That is what you want. You don't want you to put your home for sale and then find out what the buyer wants you to do. We want to price it right, disclose its condition, and have them take it as it is. Control over the repair process. After you've had the home inspection, in discussion with your real estate agent, you'll have a conversation about which of those items on the home inspection that, if repaired, would cause you the greatest net return at the final time of sale. Now, if there's a repair that isn't going to impact the final net to you, there's really no sense making it. Just disclose it and be done with it. What are the benefits to your agent? It's important that we're all working together and all on the same page. Listing presentation differentiation. Every time they speak about your home, they're able to say that it's something different and something special. It's simpler than for them to disclose to the other agent, get the data into the MLS that we know is accurate and correct. And we've reduced their liability. It's a high liability business for the agent to be representing a property that isn't properly described. We're going to help them with that so they feel better. We're also going to get your agent out of the middle of repair negotiations, and even worse, contracting and finding repair people, because it's outside the transaction. It's a good thing. And quite truthfully, the agent who brings this to the table is clearly demonstrated a higher level of expertise, a higher level of commitment, and historically, they receive higher commissions. I think that's reasonable. And a faster payday. You want to get your home sold quicker so that you can get the money entitled to you, that you're entitled to. Your agent feels the same way. It's reasonable. Get on the same page, working together. Fastest possible sale, highest net dollars. Objections we typically hear from sellers. I respect these, though they tend to be the same all the time. There's nothing wrong with my home. You've lived in your home for some amount of time. You've learned to live in your home. That is different than the home being perfect. One of the things we often share is that houses are like spouses. None are perfect, but we learn to live nice lives with them. So there typically are things that are imperfect that will be discovered by the buyer's inspector. If they're discovered, then they will seek a reduction in price or a repair or a replacement of that component. So let's just let go of the idea that there's nothing wrong. I don't want to do the repairs. I understand you don't want to do the repairs. There's no need for you to do the repairs. Disclose the repairs, price the home appropriately, and you won't need to do any at all. After discussions with your agent, you may choose to do some or all the repairs. If you're working with the agent, then the two of you believe that that repair will net more dollars in the end. Too much disclosure will scare buyers away. Sellers often fear that if they give all the information to the buyer, it will scare them. It actually creates a position of trust that comforts them. It's fear of the unknown that scares people. The buyer won't accept the inspection. You're correct. About a third of the time, they will not accept, that is, act only on the pre-listing inspection. What they will do sometimes is contract with the same inspector who did your inspection, or they may choose another. It's all fine. It's about giving them choice so they're comfortable to make the offer and make the highest possible offer they're comfortable with. What if the buyer's inspector finds more wrong? Sometimes that happens. Things change. The dishwasher stopped working. The heat pump stopped pumping. So there could be something new. Also, in the process of readying your home for sale, you discover something new. That's true too. Not new. It had already been there. You just didn't know. Sometimes there's an honest disagreement between inspectors where one believes something is a problem and the other doesn't. That's honest. It's uncomfortable, though it's true to say it happens. And very candidly, sometimes your inspector could possibly have missed something, or the weather didn't allow them to see it quite the same way. The goal is to have as few of those issues as possible, and more often than not, there won't be any. The inspector can't mention cosmetics. Cosmetics is an interesting thing. Sellers Uh, Never want us to mention cosmetics. Buyers always want us to mention cosmetics. Well, what's the why of that? In the mind of the seller, if someone mentions the cosmetic, it means there's an expectation for some repair or some reduction in price. That's not true. It's just a descriptor. So we describe it, the cosmetics and all, and let that buyer know that this is the condition of the home, this is the inspection, these are the things that are functional, these are the things that are cosmetics, this is the price of the home, would you like to own the home? It's just that simple. I don't want to pay for the inspection. It's very common that the seller says, gosh, I don't want to pay for the inspection. But here's the math of this. Every single day that your home sits on the market, it runs the risk of being worth less. Something may break. Some other competitor may come into the market. There's all of these things that can influence you negatively, and very few. Every single month you're making a mortgage payment. For less than 1/2 of a mortgage payment, you can have the power to be in control. It is in your best interest to get that home inspection, invest that money so that you and your agent can work together to get the highest possible dollar in the least amount of time. If you need additional information, let your agent know. Speak with them very candidly. Happy to help you in any way. Have a beautiful day. Listing inspections sell homes faster and for more net money to the seller.